When we think about Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, we always get a feeling of an institution which is being promulgated by the Parliamentary Act. But unfortunately, I have never seen Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, ICAI, who comes and protect the interest of an investor. I don't know how they are busy, what way they are formulated. I know what they formulated means, what way they're sparing their time, and there are so many committees, so many secretaries, president, vice president, ethical board, peer-to-peer review board. But what is actually happening, we all know. Keep this discussion aside. Today, in fact, from the last several weeks, and in fact, you know that I acted as a treasury head, as a corporate treasurer of an American entity. I dealt with Ernst & Young. Our partner, our statutory auditor was Ernst & Young. And I exactly know how Ernst & Young operate in the market. So today I wanted to give you a glimpse of how Ernst & Young operate in the market. How they operate is, they hire the freshers from the institute. Example, the people who cleared the CPT, IPCC, they hired them. They put this to the treasury function. They used to send these freshers to me. And guys, on paper, EY is a statutory auditor, but the hard reality is that when they used to send us, these kids were even not aware about what is forward contract, what is spot, what is forward, what is term, what is cash, and what is cash term. Forget the options and all. And what these kids used to do, the kids used to learn from me in EXL, and then they used to put the audit query on us. It is just like if I being sent to ISRO or NASA and I being asked to audit the nuclear scientist. Come on, do I know how nuclear science works? Am I an expert in physics? No. Even if I'm an expert in physics, am I expert in nuclear science? That is more important. So they used to give audit queries to us. What happened when these kids used to be trained after several months of audit, they used to send this kid to companies like Flipkart and another. This model is still continuing. Because of the bosses, this model will still continue. And EY is getting a major benefit of that. In fact, I still remember our manager, EY manager, came to me one day and said that what is the difference between cash flow hedging and fair value hedging? Guys, this is the level of a EY manager who is charging 30 lakh salary. He even do not know the difference between cash flow hedging and fair value hedging. And in fact, I can challenge the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India and the so-called chartered accountants, those who themselves doing the bank audit, do they know that what is the difference between cash flow hedging and the fair value hedging? For the sake of paper, EY is having a document called FRD, Financial Reporting Development, and one of that document pertain to hedge accounting. On paper, all the big fours, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, EY, they all have the hedge accounting guides. Few guides are available in public domain, few are not. If you read the FRD of Ernst & Young carefully, you would get to know that these FRD are trash because majority of the top financial instruments are missing. Example, the whole globe know that LIBOR is no more a discounting benchmark. It is OIS, which is a discounting benchmark. Did that mention in that FRD? Number one. FRA, OIS, swap, swaptions, collar, range forward, Seagull, straddle, digital, digital forwards, window forward, and humongous amount of derivative instruments are mentioned. In fact, SOFR, the whole globe is talking about SOFR, secured overnight financing rate, CORA, SARON, and so many rates. Is that available in that FRD? People will make this FRD, treat this FRD as Gita. And EY is an auditor to most of the banks in India. It's just like EY is an auditor of HDFC Bank and EY is also an auditor of IndusInd Bank. Now, when EY do the audit of these banks, this, FRD is treated as a Gita. Because when we talk about IND AS 109, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, then majority of the, in fact, why majority? 99% of the IND AS is copycat of IFRS. You see IFRS 3 business combination, IFRS 7, IFRS 9, IFRS 13. The IND AS 109 is a replica of that. It's a Control C and Control V. And I can challenge Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in that. In fact, even in copycat, they're left with so many mistakes. So if these FRT are using as a Gita by the EY auditors while doing the hedge accounting, then it created major lapses in the books of the banks. And their lapses are either deliberately opened or they are non-deliberately opened. I have hardly seen Reserve Bank of India and Securities and Exchange Board of India to come forward and challenge these FRD. They themselves do not know hedge accounting. Reserve Bank of India majority circulars come in public domain are so pathetic that it's really difficult to see that whether Reserve Bank can be treated as a central bank or not. That is the level of Reserve Bank of India. So when these lapses are created in this FRD, then how can we trust that the banks, those who are being audited on these FRD are right? Guys, you go to HDFC Bank, page number 132 to 134, their annual report 2018-19 audited by Sudhir Soni partnership or membership number 41870. You would get to know that hedge effectiveness testing methodology, which is being quoted by EY, SR Bartley Boy, is completely pathetic. It can simply be challenged in anywhere in this globe. But I have hardly seen anyone who come in public domain and challenged EY hedge accounting practice. In fact, hedge accounting practice of majority of the big fours across the globe is pathetic. Because the problem in India is that majority of the people do not know spot. Hardly 2% people know forward. How can we expect people of India know about hedge accounting, hedge effectiveness testing, prospective, retrospective, dollar offset method, hypothetical method, shortcut method, critical to-term method? I think 99% of you, those who are watching this video, you people themselves do not know it about. This is how the audit system is being governed. And majority of the CA students, those who are not in the big four but working in the different CA practice firms, once they enter into doing bank branch audit, they themselves do not know about these kind of things. The end result is that the result these banks publish is subject to a scrutiny, and that scrutiny is known as mark-to-market accounting. I challenged all public sector or the private sector banks in India, if they feel that please give me the mark-to-market of all contingent liabilities you have in the books. Guys, in the case of few public sector banks, the contingent liability stands in billions. And if you look at the disclosure of these contingent liabilities, you would get to know that this disclosure is completely missing. It is out of context. In fact, in the majority, the major component of mark-to-market of contingent liabilities is the foreign exchange contract. And majority of the foreign exchange part in this contingent liability, the disclosures are either pathetic or the mark-to-market is completely absent. In fact, you would be surprised to know that people like SR Bartley Boy forget it to mention in HDFC in several cases the level 1, level 2, level 3. You don't trust me, you check out the HSBC annual report. One of the finest, I agree there are multiple issues we have with HSBC, there is no doubt about that. But you download the HSBC annual report, you will get to know the fantastic way of presentation. I might have multiple interpretation issues with HSBC business practices. But when it comes to the annual report, I always say their annual report is far superior than any US bank. I have seen HSBC is the only bank who is giving the disclosure. Example, L1 to L2, L2 to L3. L3 to L1, what are the finest way? I think that disclosure wise, HSBC annual report is fantastic. I will give 10 out of 10 to HSBC. In fact, I will not give to Goldman and JP 10 out of 10. I will give 10 out of 10 to only to HSBC in annual reporting. Can we expect that level of annual report by Indian banks? Can we expect the auditors to get this done? I request people to download the annual report of all Indian banks and see the hedge accounting practices or the hedge accounting or the contingent liability disclosures vis-a-vis the US banks. You will see that boss US bank, the difference you feel, the difference between Switzerland and Shimla. US Bank, I'm including HSBC, though I know HSBC is not a US bank. US Bank, including HSBC, I once again say I know HSBC is not a US bank, but I'm including for the sake of example. So US Bank, including HSBC, have the finest reporting we have in financial standard. While which is Switzerland. When it comes to Indian Bank, it is a pathetic reporting which is happening, and that is known as Shimla, you know. But unfortunately, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, I have hardly seen come in the public domain, and especially the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India to come in public domain and challenge the people that, boss, this FRD is good for nothing. These disclosures are good for nothing. Is HDFC Bank is not incorporated in India? Is Kotak Mahindra Bank not incorporated in India? Is IndusInd Bank, is SBI, Punjab National, Union Bank of India, and all the banks are not incorporated in India? Do they not covered under the jurisdiction of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, at least private bank? If the public bank covers under the jurisdiction of Comptroller and Auditor General, I agree. In fact, in case of public sector bank also, ICAI moral duty is to give the recommendation to the government or to the CAG and make sure that these recommendations will get promulgated. Guys, you would be surprised to know I have hardly seen a single recommendation made by ICAI in hedge accounting. You yourself check on the ICAI website and let me know when was the last time Institute of Chartered Accountants of India made any guidelines on the hedge accounting practice. You will get the reality yourself. The problem is that I know even after shooting this video, many chartered accountants, those who not accepted our challenge in foreign exchange and hedge accounting, they have the easiest option. They go on the right hand side of the YouTube and press the dislike. Who cares? Who cares? Because I know one thing, that the economy of India is moving like a yes bank. In 2018, I warned people that yes bank would crash. You can check on the YouTube, it did. In 2018 onwards, I am warning people that SoftBank will collapse, and you yourself see that where the SoftBank is heading. Check on the TikTok, we warned rupee to touch 78. And now we are telling you that Indian banks will face a multitude of non-performing assets because of this lockdown issue. But unfortunately, government left with no option except to go with the lockdown. Here I agree with the Prime Minister, because his options are very, very limited. And he need to protect the whole economy, so he need to go as per the best option. And I think sitting today, lockdown is the best option. But having said that, all options are having their pros and cons. But guys, it is Institute of Chartered Accountants of India cannot run away from their duty. It is a moral duty of the president of the institute to come in the public domain and said that, yes, we not been able to protect Diwan housing. We were missing in case of PwC. We missed ILFS, we missed PNC Bank, we missed Yes Bank, we missed the Karvy broking scandal, we missed BHC Wealth, and what not. What not. In all the scandals, in one or more chartered accountant firm is going to be or on the board as a statutory auditor. Just see yourself. And I'm not worried as and when the video will come on the Facebook, because I know that many chartered accountants will come and continue to write negatively, because now they are scared. They are scared because they are exposed. They are scared because they used to believe that hedge accounting is a dominant area of CAs and why MBAs are entering. They are scared because they used to believe that mark-to-market accounting, they would be the only one who would be giving the gyan. Big Fours are scared because the partner Sudhir Soni, the membership number 41870, the page number 132 to 134, in fact, the whole disclosures are missing. They are scared, but I am not scared. Because I know one thing, that the day I being invited, I open challenge Einstein and Young. If they feel that their hedge accounting disclosures are appropriate, if they feel that there is no flaw in the hedge accounting, then let's have a bet, guy. Let's have a bet, guys. I am a Singapore company. Let's have a bet with Singapore guys. And we know what you did in Singapore. Worldwide. Everyone know, open Google and type EY scandal. Everybody know. So these hedge accounting disclosures supposed to be appropriately made and revised. If these disclosures are used In case of bank audits, then it's an invitation to the society. I hope this video would open eye to few people and make few open-minded chartered accountant forced to learn that there is something which is known as hedge accounting. Because life is not GST. Life is not VAT. Life is not income tax. Life is big. It is foreign exchange, M&A, impairment, earn-out accounting and whatnot. So CS need to understand one thing, that no one can criticize Institute of Chartered Accountants of India except one, Treasury Consulting Group. Big Fours need to understand no one can criticize Big Four except one, Treasury Consulting Group. And guys, if you missed my number, it is 9899242978. 9899242978. Have a great time and more such videos on the cards. Have a good time.